dance with another. She said, wake up.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the 39 Days of July, Day 19. Yes, that ominous number that we in the crew get a little worried about because Day 19 means that halfway through this day, we're at the middle. I think we're going to, just after our 2 o'clock show, we're going to be halfway through the festival and we are on our way out. So we've only got like 19 days. Wow, it's so much fun putting together a 39-day festival. It just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. A rather long festival in a rather fun place to be. That's the Cowichan Valley, and this is us. Hope you're all listening out there in the food court today. Hopefully got it turned on. We're going to be presenting you some great music up until 2 o'clock. Matter of fact, today we're going to start off with Quinn with one N, playing his fiddle and doing his looping. Then we're going to have Scott McGill come in. If you don't know Scott, he's a teacher down at Brentwood Bay and Brentwood College, and he's been at our festival every year. Something about him that I really like. He also leads Groove Social. And then we got a special treat today at 1:45. The Kathy White Dancers. Now, usually at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, all throughout the festival, we would have student-teacher showcases or teacher-student showcases, where hopefully we would get the teacher out there, but it never worked. It was always the students out there doing what they did. And a lot of the dance troops got together on that. And it was always quite cute because we had everything from 5-year-olds all the way up to kids in their late teens still doing the work, right? Still out there practicing. So it was kind of fun to watch it. And Kathy White Dancers was one of that group that always did, mostly on Tuesdays, as a matter of fact. Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Well, today at 1:45, they put together a little 11-minute video of a ceilidh that they did with all their young kids, and we said, yeah, we'd find a way to put it on the air. So if you can't watch it today, do come back and check it out because it'll be part of our, even though it's their film, it will be part of our delivery. So it's pretty darn cool that we can still do that. But right now, this is a great honor. There's a reason why you're here for 3 or 4 shows, right? And we've appeared off of Kira and all that. It's because I like what you do, right? You've got something that's really unique. And when I start watching on the chat line, I see Daniel and everybody else saying, hey, way to go, Quinn. I go, this is an up-and-coming young kid from the island. Don't mind me using the word young, right? The last thing you want to tell a 19-year-old that he's young. I made it to 19. I'm here. And so he is, and he's going to make a name for himself, I'm quite sure. Quinn with one N. He's going to take us off for about 45 minutes or so. Sit back and enjoy.
Thank you very much. It's good to be back here. It's my second time doing a solo show for the 39 Days of July. It's my final solo show, but I will be back. I'll be back again. I'll share some information about that in a few short minutes here. But that was a tune. That was a tune off. It's the title track of my latest album, Out of the Blue. The whole album was based off of that tune because there's a little section in the B part in the second half that comes a little bit out of the blue. There's an extra bar, and it kind of just crammed in there. So it's a bit of a quirky tune, and it's really fun. So I'm gonna play another tune from that album, and this is one that I've never performed as a loop before. I've never done a looped arrangement for it live. I just came up with this a few days ago, and so I'm excited to share it. This is a track called How Synesthetes See Cyan. Cyan, as we all know, is a shade of blue, and synesthetes, or people with synesthesia, are people that relate visuals with other senses, such as hearing colors or tasting numbers or something like that. And so this tune has multiple time signatures changing throughout, and different feels and things like that. And cyan is a shade of blue, connecting it to the album Out of the Blue. So here's a cool tune called How Synesthetes See Cyan. It's a nice tongue twister. All right. Thanks. Yeah, it's a new arrangement. It's a bit crazy, just still getting it out of the fingers. There's actually a lot going on in that tune. If you listen to the recording, it's on Bandcamp, Spotify, Apple Music, all those. Like I said, it's in it has multiple time signatures that change throughout. It starts in 5/4, and then it goes to 6/4, and then the last fast hoedown sort of sounding tune is it's in 4/4. And but aside from that, the musical part of it, my guitar is tuned to a different tuning, which is DADGAD, D-A-D-G-A-D. And my fiddle, you probably saw me switching the knobs there, which is needing to be tweaked a bit in a second here. I was changing my E string to a D, so all the D, 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 and I changed it back to an E, but it was a D. It's just a lot of moving parts, and it's really cool when it all kind of rings together. So really interesting tune, but you should definitely go listen to the official track. It's a fun one. Anyway, moving on to another new part of the show. I have, some of you might know the song BFF that I've sang in the past. It's a tune I wrote about being in bare feet. And my mom and I co-wrote it. We wrote it together. And that was early 2019, and it's about time for a new song. And so we started working on writing a new one. And this tune has quite a bit of meaning behind it. And the meaning of this tune is that we're at a point where there's a bit too much garbage in the world. There's a lot of garbage laying around outside, and personally, I think it should be more nature. But it's seeming that it's not always the case. And for when I was in elementary school, we always we were taught the 3 R's: reuse, reduce, and recycle. The first R is probably the most accurate, because recycling is actually quite a myth, and only about 90% of what we think is going to the recycling, only about 10% of what we think is going to the recycling is actually going to the recycling. It's quite sad, actually. And the best thing that I've heard, the ways that we can fix this is a good analogy, and it's, if the bathtub is overflowing, do you go get a mop to clean it up, or do you turn off the tap? And I think we should definitely start turning off the tap and stop making the garbage in the first place. So this song has a big backstory, because if I just sing it, you would be very confused why I'm saying to stop recycling, because recycling is a good thing. It's just we need to take one more step, and some of us aren't quite at that stage yet, but it's good to take the first step and just start reducing your footprint in your waste. So this is a song called The Myth. screw recycling. Most think recycling turns to something new, but most recycling becomes garbage, and that's not the best we can do. We're drowning in plastic and strangled seas of cellophane, and the oceans won't be free until our greed for more and more begins to wane. And we throw it all away, but there is no way. Recycling, more even when you want to roll up the rim to win. Take your own damn mug. What kind of world are you living in? Recycling is easy, which means that we can always do more. Return, refill, repair, and restore. Don't throw it all away, because there is no way. Throw it all away, but there is no way. Don't throw it all away, because there is no way. Thank you. So, everyone, go turn off your bath taps. Don't let them run. Moving on to a less depressing tune that is. Let's play a fun one here. Actually, I don't need this. I'm gonna play a tune, and it's off the album as well, Out of the Blue. And this tune is kind of a mixture of bluegrass and blues. There's lots of double stops. It's kind of crazy and funky and groovy. And it's called The Grass is Always Bluer. That one's that one's one of my favorites. The grass is always bluer. Yeah, it's so much fun. I had on the album I had upright bass player Nick Mintanko on the track. Made it nice and funky, and yeah, there was lots of other instrument parts in it. The arrangement was just different in its own sense. I haven't really explained what I'm doing up here. I'm using a loop pedal, if you haven't figured it out. A loop pedal essentially takes what I'm doing on stage when I tell it to, and it plays it over and over again, and I can add things to it and take things away from it, and pause it and stop it and slow it down and speed it up. And I also have a couple of effects that I use to alter the sound of my fiddle. But basically, I can't quite replicate what I did on the album, because I played on my album Out of the Blue, I played all of the guitar and the fiddle tracks. And if I just up here, if I played 3 minutes of guitar and then 3 minutes of fiddle and then 3 minutes of a harmony fiddle part, and then we're already at 9 minutes, right? So you kind of have to think of new ways to kind of create a puzzle of music on this little machine here. Well, not so little machine, but it's kind of a new instrument, and it's really fun taking arrangements that I've already created and altering them in a way that makes sense on the loop pedal. Because although you are getting a little bit of the insider of what I'm doing in the back end of things, it's an even balance of hearing what the song should actually sound like. So it's a cool thing to work with. But yeah, it's a loop pedal. I'm gonna play another tune. This one off my album Out of the Blue. All the tunes are related to blue somehow. So the grass is always bluer, bluegrass and blues. This next tune is called In the Deep Blue Sea, and it's kind of self-explanatory. It's like you're floating in the ocean, and there's lots of kind of mellow waves. Maybe they get a little bit rougher at one point, but they come back down. It's a nice calm waltz that I wrote. In the Deep Blue Sea. Just gonna flip some knobs here, and then I'm gonna play the tune. I just imagine floating in a boat or something. It's really fun. There's lots of different ways that you can use a loop pedal. People, a lot of people have frowned at the thought of saying, me saying that I use a loop pedal on stage, because there is a community of people that use it for practice. Just looping an 8-bar groove, kind of like my first number. I just chopped for a little bit and then looped that for the whole thing, but there's a way to take that and make it a little bit more complex, and having that play statically throughout the whole tune isn't necessarily the best way to go, but it can work in a sense to it's harder to take a machine that's supposed to play things over and over again and tell it to not do that. So what I did there was I played the melody by itself, and I recorded the melody for one of the sections, but I didn't let it loop. I didn't let it play. I pressed stop right after it started recording. And then I went back and I played the melody again until I got to that same spot, and that little thing was waiting there for me, recorded, and until I activated it, and it came back to life, and then I stopped it again, and then it kept on playing. So there's ways to do it that way, and one way that I'm going to do in a second here, kind of like how I already made fun of myself, I said, you don't want to hear me play a 3-minute thing, and then another 3-minute thing, and then another 3-minute thing, because we're sitting here at 9 minutes wondering why I'm still playing the same song. Well, I'm going to loop the guitar part all the way through, and then I'm going to loop the bass, and then I'm going to loop the fiddle, but the trick is it's not that long of a chord progression. So there's different ways to use a loop pedal, and I'm only just scratching the surface, but this next tune is also one that I've never performed before. It's probably the newest out of all the tunes today. I don't actually even have a name for it, but I have been getting into a lot of jazz lately, and not necessarily just diving full force into jazz, but kind of just amalgamating it into my traditional fiddling, which makes it interesting. But this tune, it's a bit jazzy, and it has a jazzy chord progression, it's quite a bit different from my other stuff. So here goes. This is a tune with no name, and that is not going to be its name, because I will find a name one day. I can't just keep referring to it as the tune with no name, but I'm just going to switch guitars over. Okay, the tune with no name. So try to hear when the loop stops and starts, and think about when I'm layering and when I'm still recording the same track. It gives it away because I really give a big stomp when it's when it's time to record again, but. Okay, here goes. I have an octave pedal up here, so I can turn the electric guitar into a bass, which is very handy because I don't need a third instrument. Obviously, it's not perfect for you, the bass players out there. I'm sure you're frowning at me, but you know, I can only carry so many things as a one-man band. But so this is gonna be my last number. But I'd like to thank the Duncan Showroom because this is like I said, this is my second show as a solo act for the 39 days. I'm also going to be back on July 19th at 4 p.m. With my girlfriend. We're going to be doing a bunch of songs that should be familiar to everyone. We're doing a bunch of covers as well as she has some songs that she's written. And she's a wonderful piano player and vocalist, and I'll be accompanying her on fiddle and guitar. So it'll be absolutely, completely different from what I did as a solo act. But then again, my fourth show for the 39 days is going to be with the lovely Nick Mintanko, who played on my album for bass, but he's also an amazing singer-songwriter, and he plays guitar. So we'll be doing some folky, poppy, contemporary things as such. So, and he's watching right now. Well, Nick, I'm gonna post the event later, I swear. No, yeah, it's not actually announced on Facebook, but what is Facebook anyway? So you guys get to hear it first. Yeah, so Nick Mintanko on July 30th at 7, yeah, and July 19th at 4. So. And there's events happening, so if you happen to click on the link too early, I'm sure you'll happen to be at an event that's happening at the festival, because like Long John said, there's only 19 days left. So so go pop in and see what else is at the festival. But thanks to the Duncan Showroom for having me here over and over and over and over again. But yeah, continue apparently. So yeah, this is my last number. But last weekend, I was supposed to be playing at the Vancouver Island Music Festival, and it obviously wasn't running. But luckily, they did a Facebook broadcast, and the artistic director sent out a general email and asked everyone to send videos of them talking about what they loved about the festival, and asked the performers if they want to send a video, they can. And so this is a tune that I made for the video, and it's called Follow Me, Phthalo. Sounds like Follow Me, but Phthalo is a shade of blue, and it's my favorite track off the album, Out of the Blue. And Nick Mintanko also played bass on this one, some super funky Victor Wooten channeling vibes. So this is Follow Me, and thank you for coming.
Quinn with one N.
Thank you.
Now everyone out there knows why we want them back as often as we can. That was great. And this is a whole neat thing that's going on. I mean, we have Daniel Lapp here on Wednesday night, which is very good. A master fiddle player, right? And he's learning. I mean, I'm not saying he's learning, but he's not a loop pedal specialist, right? That's not his forte is playing straight up and doing what he does. But this whole new genre, this whole new area with technology, when the youth are grabbing a hold of it and actually making it work in such a beautiful way, it's like, wasn't that fantastic? Really, that's one, for all those people sitting in the court, the food court, that was one person on stage that put all that together. Yeah. So sorting it out, figuring it out, learning where everything is, getting all the sounds, and then making it, the arrangement possibilities and all that are endless, and it's just amazing that the mind can work that way. It's not in my mind, but other people's minds. Anyway, this is day 19 of the 39 days of July. That means that somewhere just after 2 o'clock this afternoon, we would, in fact, be halfway through this whole situation. Yep. 19 days have gone past so fast. Well, 18. 18's gone through so fast. But we're on our 19th. So it's like, how did that happen? So anyway, sit back and enjoy some music while you're out in the court. We're going to be playing some tunes right now that were recorded live at the Duncan Showroom from previous shows. And we might even be doing a commercial or not. If there is, that means there might be some dead air for you guys. Or would they have dead air out there? They will be able to hear it. Okay.
They'll be able to hear. We just can't hear it in the room.
Right. You won't get the visual, but it was really good that the Tourism Couch and the DDBIA got together and put together a buy local project, and then the DDBIA has also done some commercials for various businesses downtown. And it's really quite cool when we start seeing how we market ourselves as a unit. That's what the Downtown Duncan Business Improvement Association is all about. I want to thank them for putting that food court together, and hope everyone's enjoying themselves. So right now, as I said, we're going to another part. I want to thank Quinn with one N one more time. My goodness, he's got another couple shows here. Right? But you're bringing guests. You're being guests with Nick. And what Kelly, isn't that Kelly? Kira? That's going to be an interesting one. That's a duo. Yeah. I'm anxious to see that. And the reason I got them to do that one was because I saw little videos they were putting up, little shots out of the room. And I said, oh, no, you got to get that out further to the public. Let's bring it here. It's so much fun having this business, you know, that we get to hear and create, be part of the creation of so much great music. Stay tuned. We'll be talking to you a little bit later with all the great projects that are coming up for the next 19 days.
Good food starts with fresh ingredients, carefully selected and locally sourced. Discover a rotating menu packed with rich flavors and modern cuisine. Or you can just stick to the classics, like a burger and a beer. Whatever you choose, it's guaranteed to be delicious. And why not enjoy your meal with a glass from our carefully curated selection of local wines and spirits? How about an exciting handcrafted cocktail? A great experience and a good time are waiting for you at the Agency. It's not fancy, it's just good food.
Your skin tells the story of your life. Each page texturing your experience. Wherever you find yourself, take pride in speaking your truth. Discover a love just for you. Give your skin the love of nature's beauty.
Ferris wheel. Okay. Where the Ferris wheel goes round and round, like my love for you, round and round, round and round, like we always do. We can get so high, touch the sky, and real low, nowhere else to go. Round and round, like my love for you. Round and round, like my love for you. Round and round, like my love for you. Where the roller coaster goes up and down, like your love for me, up and down, up and down. I'm sure you would agree. We can get so high, touch the sky, and real low, nowhere else to go. Up and down, like your love for me. Up and down, like your love for me. Yeah. Up and down, like your love for me. The Ferris wheel goes round and around and around and around, like your love for me, round and round, round and round. Sure you agree. We can get so high, touch the sky, and real low, nowhere else to go. Round and round, like your love for me. Round and round, like my love for you. Round and round, like my love for you. Round and round, like my love for you. You gave me everything. You gave me everything and more, yes you did. You gave me everything. You gave me everything and more, yes you did. But you left me with nothing but all them blues perfect man. That I can carry me a heavy load. But it's so hard to carry on with all the blues, all the blues in the world. I was right when you said that you love me, but I was wrong when you said goodbye. Watched as you walked away, baby. Now all I can do is cry. You love me, but I was wrong when you said goodbye. Watch as you walked away, baby. Now all I can do, all I can do is cry.
chante ici, chante ici, chante ici et down, going forth and cross the tide. Chante ici, chante ici, chante ici et down, going forth and cross the tide. Chante ici, for the mile hath gone and the welcome hath drawn you near. For the north light shone on the banks of Moore, oh, the night hath drawn you near. Chante ici et down, going forth and cross the tide. Chante ici et down, going forth and cross the tide. Chante ici, for the mile hath gone and the welcome hath drawn you near. For the north light shone on the banks of Moore, oh, the night hath drawn you shone on the banks of Moore, oh, the night hath drawn you near. Oh, the north light shone on the banks of Moore, chante ici hath drawn you near.
Well, hello, everybody. Here we are, day 19 of the 39 days of July. We've been going along pretty good. Now, some of the things, if we had had our regular book schedule out there like we would have done if we had been outside, there've already been, 15 changes take place since that schedule was done. And some of them have happened. I got a phone call or a text this morning. A young man from Mr. Cooper, from Brooke Cooper, won't be able to make his Saturday show on the 25th, so I've had to relocate someone for that. We had an opening tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, and I was holding on. I couldn't figure out why I didn't find anything. And then I found out that today at 4 o'clock, when the Mitchell sisters come up here, they're also bringing Kevin Barr. Do you remember the Undertaking Daddies?
Yeah.
Well, Kevin Barr was a major player, that one of the founding members. So he's down from up north, and he's going to be in the area. So he said, sure, he'd love to do a set. So it's going to be some good old-timey country, kind of bluegrassy style, picking and singing. I think you'll enjoy that. But right now, Scott McGill, who's going to be here today, we had a little bit of a mix-up, and the schedule didn't quite get to him the way I wanted it to. That's me. That's my fault. But nonetheless, I will accept the blame. I learned that from Trudeau. Stand up and take it. I did it. That's the way it's. Sorry, I'll never do it again. Hey, well, it's working for him. But anyway, so it just so happens that Steve McKinnon drops by every morning Well, about, no, not every morning. About every 3 or 4 mornings, he stops in and he says, "Going to need anybody today? If you do, just let me know. I can always fill in for you." And I said, "Yeah, Steve, if we need someone, we do." And then when this happened just 5 minutes ago, I'm sitting there going, darn it, Steve was just here this morning, and I had told him, no, we don't need you. So where the heck am I going to find Steve? Well, fortunate enough, Steve was standing out back talking with Tim, Dr. Ted Cadillac, for a second. And I said, hey, we got a guitar for you. You're on stage. And so he's going to be doing the Scott McGill Hour for the Scott McGill 45 minutes. He does promise to sing a little higher if you pull those pants up. But anyway, he's been a performer here with the 39 Days many times before, and it's really nice that we can have him fill in for Scott. His name's Steve McKinnon. For all those listening out in the food court, sit back and enjoy another 45 minutes. And remember, for those people who are online, that at 1:45 when Steve's over, we're going to put on the Kathy White Kaylee. Yeah, Kathy White dancers put together a little Kaylee with all their young students and all that, and they made an 11-minute film, and a video, and we're going to be able to show that. So it's going to be quite cool if you can tune in for that. But right now, you've got Steve McKinnon to entertain you. Take it away, Steve.
Thanks, John. Welcome, everybody. I want everyone to like me. Want everyone to like me real bad. I want everyone to approve of me. 'Cause when they disapprove of me, it makes me feel so sad. Like to earn the respect of my peers. If it takes 100 years, I wonder where they all are right now. I would run to embrace them. I'm only kidding. I'm really very modest once you get to know me. I want someone to tell me, honey, you don't look so well. Why don't you lie down for a couple of years and I'll take care of things? Yeah. Grown-up woman would be nice. Like to flip over once or twice to find out what makes her tick. Oh yeah. Friends to call my own, God knows. A family and a home. Little money set aside. I'd be fat and satisfied. I want everyone to like me. That's one thing I know for sure. I want everyone to like me. 'Cause I'm a little insecure. Oh, thank you very much. Little Randy Newman music for you there. Well, thank you, John. Thank you, Tim and Trevor and everybody for putting on this. We appreciate it. All the musicians and such that are here involved in making music for a living. Great to be here. Here's one from one of my favorite artists. I've seen him a few times over the years, and Mr. John Prine. He just passed away on us couple of weeks ago. A young man from a small town with a very large imagination sits alone in his room with the radio on, looking for another station, while the static from the mouthpiece gave way to the sound below. James Dean went out to Hollywood, put his picture in a picture show. James Dean went out to Hollywood, put his picture in a picture show. Whoa, Daddy, get off of your knees. Mama, why'd you have to go? Your darling Jim is out on a limb, put his picture in a picture show. Put his picture in a picture show. Hamburger, cheeseburger, Wilbur and Orville Wright. You got John Garfield in the afternoon, Montgomery Clift at night, while the static from the mouthpiece gave way to the sound below. James Dean went out to Hollywood, put his picture in a picture show. James Dean went out to Hollywood, put his picture in a picture show. Whoa, Daddy, get off of your knees. Mama, why'd you have to go? Your darling Jim is out on a limb, put his picture in a picture show. Your darling Jim is out on a limb, put his picture in a picture show. A mocha man in a wigwam, sitting on a reservation, with a big black hole in the belly of his soul, looking for another station. Static from the mouthpiece gave way to the sound below. James Dean went out to Hollywood, put his picture in a picture show. James Dean went out to Hollywood, put his picture in a picture show. Whoa, Daddy, get off of your knees. Mama, why'd you have to go? Your darling Jim is out on a limb, put his picture in a picture show. Oh no, put his picture in a picture show. A young man from a small town with a very large imagination. Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. John Prine. There's a Merle Haggard song for you called Our Paths May Never Cross. Lady, I know you're out there somewhere, like me, you're feeling lost. Maybe right now both need each other, but our paths may never cross. People like us never find each other. Like me, you're feeling lost. Lady, I know you're out there somewhere, but our paths may never cross. We're two people who should be together, 'cause we're lonely at the very same time. There's a million, too many good reasons why your love can never be mine. Maybe this song was written for you. Listen, don't turn it off. I wish you could learn it. Some keep it with me, but our paths may never cross. I wish you could learn it and come sing it with me, but our paths may never cross. All right, thank you. Let's see. Okay. No, I don't have a capo, so I might need it, but I don't. I'll be all right. This is a Jimmy Buffett song, one of the great storytellers. Ted Cadillac, ladies and gentlemen. A solution for every problem, and a problem for every solution. It's called He Went to Paris. He went to Paris looking for answers to questions that bothered him so. He was impressive, young and aggressive, saving the world on his own. Warm summer breezes, French wines and cheeses put his ambitions at bay. Summers and winters, scattered like splinters, 4 or 5 years slipped away. He moved to England, played the piano. For him a young son named Jim. He wore to England and he played the piano. Married an actress named Kim. The warm summer breezes, French wines and cheeses put his ambitions at bay. Summers and winters, scattered like splinters, 20 more years slipped away. War took his baby, bombs killed his lady, and left him with only one eye. Body was battered, his whole world was shattered. All he could do was just cry. While the tears are falling, he was recalling those answers that he'd never found. So he hopped on a freighter, turned on a raver, left England without a sound. Now he lives in the islands, fishes the pylons, drinks his green label each day. Writing his memoirs, losing his hearing, don't care what most people say. 'Cause through 86 years of perpetual motion, if he liked you, he'll smile and he'll say, some of it's magic, some of it's tragic, but I had a good life all the way. He went to Paris looking for answers to questions that bothered him so. Thank you very much. I'd like to say hi to everybody out there on the wire. Is that what it is, Tim? A wire? I don't know. Megaphone. That would be just fine. A rich gal will drink good pineapple juice, and a poor gal will do quite the same. But my gal get a rusty razor, run you all over town. You know she'll catch up with you just the same. I will be there in the morning if I live, if I live. I will be there in the morning if I don't get killed, if I live. If I never ever see you again, I said be sure to remember me. Well, a rich gal will hit you, she'll bop you with a stick, and a poor gal will do quite the same. But my gal get a rusty razor, run you all over town. You know she'll catch up with you just the same. I will be there in the morning if I live, if I live. I will be there in the morning if I don't get killed, if I live. If I never ever see you again, I said be sure to remember me. Well, a rich gal loves to party and she wants to carry on, and a poor gal will do quite the same. But my gal loves to stay at home and keep me satisfied. You know she loves me just the same. I will be there in the morning if I live, if I live. I will be there in the morning if I don't get killed, if I live. If I never ever see you again, I said be sure to remember me. I said be sure to remember me. All right, thank you. I'm gonna do a little country swing. Mr. Bob Wills, I guess. hit you with a stick, and you know that's the way that it goes. Oh, okay, I'm gonna stop. Try again. I'll do something else. Sometimes a song is just too like the other one, and you can't make up your mind, or your mind doesn't let you make up your mind. Little blues song for you. I'm getting tired of running round. Believe I'll get married, I'll settle down. 'Cause this old nightlife, this mean old sporting life, don't you know it's killing me? I got a letter from my home. You know all my good friends are all dead and gone. You know it makes me worry. It makes me wonder about the times to come. Mama used to fall on her knees and pray. These are the very words she would say. She'd say, "Old Stevie, my loving Stevie, won't you please change your ways?" And I say, I'm getting tired of running round. Believe I'll get married and I'll settle down. 'Cause this old nightlife, this mean old sporting life, don't you know it's killing me? Yeah, thank you very much. All right, I'm back on track now. I'm not sure. Well, I really love my baby. She got great big feet, long, lean, and lanky, ain't got much to eat. She's my baby, love her just the same. Crazy about that woman, Caledonia is her name. Caledonia, Caledonia, what makes your big head so hard? I love you just the same. Crazy about that woman, Caledonia is her name. Really love my baby, she got great big feet, long, lean, lanky, ain't got much to eat. She's my baby, love her just the same. Crazy about my baby, lover is my middle name. Caledonia, Caledonia, what makes your big head so hard? I love you just the same. Crazy about that woman, Caledonia is her name. love my baby, she got great big feet. Long, lean, lanky, ain't got much to eat. But she's my baby, love her just the same. Crazy about that woman, Caledonia is her name. Caledonia, Caledonia, what makes your big head so hard? I love you, I love you just the same. Crazy about that woman, Caledonia is her name. Yes, I'm crazy about that woman, Caledonia is her name. Caledonia. Yeah. It's capo. This is called my decision maker. You go like this. You go, well, maybe I want to, maybe, I'm not sure. But this will make up your mind for you. I think. Here's a tune I wrote. Let's see. It's called What Goes Round. Followed my heart to the West Coast. I followed it out to sea. Led with my jaw, it didn't hurt at all. I'm just beginning to see. Left out of town unnoticed, left in the cold light of day. I'm out of here with nothing to fear. Fate finally had its own way. Many's the miles on this heart, son. I do things the best that I can. Now everything seems so different to me. You know all about best laid plans. Pull up a seat at the table. Please pass your old glass right down. We'll trade some lies about the road and the light. What goes round comes round and round. What goes round comes round. Reap what you sow now. Goes round comes round and round. Thank you very much. Say thank you. Here's a Roger Miller song for you. I think it was his first big hit among many. A song called Husbands and Wives. Two broken hearts, lonely looking like houses, nobody lives. Two people each having so much pride inside, neither side forgives. The angry words spoken, hey, such a waste of two lives. It's my belief pride is the chief cause in the decline in the number of husbands and wives. A woman and a man and a woman. Some can, and some can, and some can. Adiyada-da-da. Adiyada-da-da. Two broken hearts, lonely looking like houses where nobody lives. Two people each having so much pride inside, neither side forgives. Angry words spoken, hey, such a waste of two lives. It's my belief pride is the chief cause in the decline in the number of husbands and wives. A woman and a man and a woman. Some can, and some can't, and some can. Adiyada-da-da. Adiyada-da-da. Two broken hearts, lonely looking like houses nobody lives. People each having so much pride inside, neither side forgives. The angry words spoken, hey, such a waste of two lives. It's my belief pride is the chief cause in the decline in the number of husbands and wives. Yeah, thank you. Here's a George, I'm sorry? 5? Okay. Thanks. Okay, here's a George Strait song for you. All my exes live in Texas. Oh, I mean Texas. I'm trying, Tim. All my exes live in Texas. Texas is a place I dearly love to be. All my exes live in Texas. That's why I hang my hat in Tennessee. Rosanna's down in Texarkana, wanted me to push her broom. Sweet Eileen's in Abilene, forgot I hung the moon. Allison's in Galveston, somehow lost her sanity. Dimples, who now lives in Temple's, got the law looking for me. All my exes live in Texas. Texas is a place I dearly love to be. All my exes live in Texas. That's why I hang my hat in Tennessee. I remember that old Rio River where I learned to swim. It brings to mind another time I wore my welcome thin. By transcendental meditation, I go there each night, but I always come back to myself long before daylight. All my exes live in Texas. Texas is a place I dearly love to be. All my exes live in Texas. That's why I hang my hat in Tennessee. Some folks think I'm hiding. It's rumored that I die. I'm alive and well in Tennessee. All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, John and Trevor and all you folks in the audience around the world. Thank you very much.
Steve McKinnon filling in for Scott McGill. People with an S for a first name. I like that. Works out. It's easier to copy. Steve McKinnon, for those people that are out there watching or listening in the food court, that was Steve McKinnon. You'll see him around town. It was very nice for him to fit in for Scott McGill. And right now, we're going to have this opportunity, this being the 39 days of July and day 19, almost halfway through. All the things, when we were, how do I put this? When we were all outside, and we were all watching it for 8 years, at 3 o'clock, I would have the teacher-student showcase. And that was a fun time because it let mostly the dance classes in town, all came out and made sure that the kids had an opportunity to perform in public one more time. So it would turn out like the Kathy White dancers would have every Tuesday at 3. Carlson's dance would have every Friday at 3. O'Brien's School of Irish Dance had 3. They would always do 3 shows. There was a few other dance troupes in town that would come out and participate. We even had the Canada's Best Karate come out and do that. And that was kind of cool too, because all those kids really enjoyed being out in public and showing off what they've learned, right? But we can't do that this year because of the pandemic, and getting all those kids together in one enclosed area just didn't make much sense. But Kathy White dancers were able to put together a small video, 11-minute video, of a ceilidh that they put together. Don't ever try and spell that word. It's called a ceilidh. But they got it together and they did it, and they asked if we would show it for them. And we figured, well, it's a Tuesday, why not do it? So for the next little while, 11 minutes or so, if Ted's ready, we've got a film for you. We got it. So we're gonna, for those at home and those that are watching everywhere else on their little module, it's the Kathy White dancers. Give it up for them, please.
Kathy, that's my Nance. Bye, but there's more coming. Wink.
Well, for all those that viewed, you got a pretty good idea why we had our student teacher showcases on at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, because it's just so damn cute. That's what it is. Everyone trying their best, and when time comes on, they're going to become pretty good dancers. They're going to be able to do things that they never thought they could do before, and they're going to be able to break out the barriers that were set in front of them and learn that they can do anything they want to do if they just put their mind and time to it and get those 10,000 hours in that we're always talking about. That's the way it works. I want to thank you all for tuning in to the 39 Days of July, Day 19. We're going to take a break right now for a couple hours before we come back with the Mitchell sisters up from Victoria. And they got a special guest today in Kevin Barr, who's one of those founding members of the Undertaken Daddies from up north. If you hadn't witnessed them, that's another thing you should be looking up. They were a great band and still out there putting out music as individuals. I think you'll enjoy that. Matter of fact, Kevin, who was supposed to be heading back to the Yukon tomorrow, we convinced him to stay another day so he can fill in that slot we had at 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, just before Andrea Smith, just before The Big Mess, and just before Daniel Lapp. Yeah, so tune in tomorrow night for sure if you want to have some fun, and, well, even more fun than you're having right now. How's that? So as I'm going to just sign off, just remember that now that this is somewhere between now and 4 o'clock, we're going to have gone through half of the festival already. And when we come back, we'll be on the second half, the back half. 19 days, that's still a long festival. By anybody else, that's still longer than the Colville, the Careville Festival. By a half day. Oh, that must have been sweet when the look on their face. Because I did it the year before, too. So when they got it, they heard it twice. They must have known, uh-oh, they're serious. And we are serious. We're serious about bringing you fine music and letting you know who lives on the island and some of the great entertainers that do live here. So till 4 o'clock, we'll check you out later. Bye-bye. Don't forget, Blues on Tuesday tonight. Oh, and Kyler Tapscott from Pat Temple's band is going to broadcast live at 5 o'clock. So his show's 5. Then David Vest. This is going to be a killer day. Stay tuned for it.
Pendulum with you. Really, we have no black, no white. There is truth in your gray light. Pendulum with you. Really, we have far left, far right in the